All right, so this week for my conversation with friends for astrology, I have Lisa and Bonnie. They're sitting right there, and we're drinking wine outside, and I'm going to just share a little bit about what is happening astrologically this week. So we're in the Earth season. We're in this time where things are starting to feel really real. Like we're seeing the things that we want to change. We're seeing the things that maybe don't resonate with us anymore. And we also have a full moon on Tuesday. And so something that's significant about this week is that this week is the mirror from the full moon in Virgo that we had 6 months ago, right before the COVID lockdowns. So it's been 6 months since the COVID lockdown started. And many things have happened for us in the last 6 months. I would venture to guess that almost all of us feel incredibly different on the inside and have different value systems and behave differently than we did 6 months ago. And this week, we're emerging from that with this like overall feeling of like, okay, things need to actually change in my close personal world now. I don't think this is going away anytime soon. And if it is, there are still some things that are not necessarily going back to the way that they were before. And so, what are the things? Who am I now? How do I feel in my body? How do I feel in my relationships? What do I stand for? What have I learned how to value? Yes, honey. Oh, yeah. You know what? And that's so her puppy just broke and she popped a balloon earlier today. And both of the feelings of that was that like things are temporary, things don't last, things change. Like we can get really attached to we were really attached to the way things were before the COVID lockdowns, and we had to let them go. And now even this week my daughter's experiencing a lot of experiences of loss of the temporary things, changes in things that she thought would last forever, but nothing can last the same forever. And so there's this whole feeling about things like taking stock, I guess, of the things that really do last, like all the things that changed over all this time. What stayed? What lasted? What is in our core that's still true today? Even if everything around us changed, even if our relationships changed and money and all this, there are some core things that we still value. And there may be a few things left over that are not really aligned with that. There may be a few things in our personal lives that are still that we were still holding on to, thinking that maybe things would go back to normal. And I would like to invite all of us to sort of imagine that we are creating tomorrow based on the values that we have today. And if there were some key values that have gotten even stronger through all of this time, what are they, and what else needs to actually shift? And there's a strong feeling of like wanting to label things as good or bad. And there a lot of the astrologers that I watched this week were talking about like if something doesn't resonate with you, we have a tendency to say, well, that's not good. Like if we don't agree with someone, we have this natural tendency to be like, well, that's wrong because my values are right and all the things I'm choosing are right, and if their values aren't like mine, they must be wrong. However, that creates lose-lose situations. It creates separation between people. And what I'm witnessing in my own life is that even though I'm really clear on what my core values are now, and I realize that other people have different core values than I do, nobody's core values are wrong. I'm not wrong for my core values, and they're not wrong for their core values. We just have different ways of deciding from those values, and we're doing the best we can. Everyone is really making choices because they think it's the best thing to do. And so there's a bit of compassion there, but also boundaries, right? Like we don't have to agree with people, and we don't have to make them wrong because we don't agree with them. And I think that's something that is going to come to a head even more in the coming month, because we, in our effort to hold on to the certainty of who we are, we have to we unconsciously sort of demonize what we're not. And this needs to change. This is the thing that's causing a lot of dissonance in our world. So that's what I have to say about this week. And I think we're going to be given plenty of opportunities to investigate this, not only this week, but in the coming months of the year. So thank you for listening to me. And if I do these conversations every Sunday. If you found value in this conversation, please share it with other people. Alaya is a little upset, but she's also learning a lot about boundaries right now, and so am I. So we're all humans trying to figure this thing out. So thanks for being humans. Bye.